First of all, it is a wonderful platform, wonderful intention to bring a lot of seniors, which is very much needed in our country, very much needed in the world. Okay, fantastic job. I would like to start off by congratulating Sukoon team for these kind of initiatives to bring seniors together on a platform like this. And namaste to all the seniors, and namaste to all those sincere seekers within you who want to learn and who want to stay young by learning. Okay, thank you for coming this evening. The topic is, how do you find purpose post retirement? And we've seen many who have been extremely active in their careers, in their work life, suddenly become lost after retirement, suddenly feeling alone, suddenly feeling that there is no purpose, or you know their health deteriorates, or their mind becomes less active. All these things are happening. But let us look at what is happening in our system, in our mind. As Lord Krishna says in the Gita, mind is your greatest friend and mind is your greatest enemy. So let us look at that little bit deeply so that we understand how to really find purpose. Let me take you through my own journey little bit. And again, all of you are seniors. If there is something which is not acceptable, or you feel like, hey, this is not for me, please uh, forgive me. And at the end, please also tell me, Govind, hey, this is some area where you need to correct or you need to work on. I'm very much open to feedback. I'm very much open to listening from seniors, elders, and gurus. And I find gurus everywhere, wherever I go. Today, actually, I'm in Calcutta. I came here to train a large organization. Actually, it's a multi-thousand crore organization. The managing director of the company walked in, and he said, you know, some of the sales people were saying, uh, "Sir, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. It is, it's a tough job." The MD said, "You do your work and leave the rest to Prabhu. Why are you worried about the outcome?" The moment he said that, I said, I came here to train, but I got the biggest lesson, that you can build a multi-thousand crore company also by complete surrender. That is what I learned. So I'm always open to learning. Please stop me anywhere, put it in the chat box, or ask questions anywhere you feel you need some answers. So my story, my background quickly. I'm born in Chennai. I'm originally from Chennai. My mother is Telugu. My dad is Tamil. A typical Brahmin family where a lot of education was given importance, a lot of devotion, focus was on devotion. While all other things were going on, my parents always said, look, focus on education, study well, go to America, earn in a nice company, and at the same time, don't forget your spiritual roots. Focus on doing your bhakti practices, doing your daily rituals. All this has been ingrained in my system right from childhood. But I was a very playful boy, always into many sports, never kept quiet. I was into a lot of racing bikes and all this typical, teenager, 19. There were two big turning points in my life. And I will talk about these two turning points and then connect it to the context and come to finding purpose. I did my engineering from Vishwesvaraya, Bangalore, then did my MBA from Symbiosis, Pune. Worked in India for about 10 years. I worked with companies like Sifi. I worked with companies like Birlasoft in Singapore. I was a country manager for Birlasoft in Singapore 5 years, lived in the US for a few years, and then my visa, H1 visa, went into a lottery at that time. And then on the flight back, I'm thinking, what is this? I've worked all my life, almost 20 years of my life, I spent building a career, and my visa has gone into a lottery system. For no fault of mine, I'm like, I've kind of lost everything. On the flight back, I'm thinking, I need to really find purpose. I need to really do something which is meaningful and long term, rather than just going and working where I have no control over my life. So these were some of the thoughts and this happening. But the two turning points, and now, last almost 12, 15 years, I've never worked for anybody. I've been training, I've been helping corporations in the training side, and I've been working with a lot of individuals doing coaching, mostly in the area of emotional intelligence, mind and emotion related challenges and all that. Okay, so this is my background. In the corporates, of course, I do a lot of sales training. But these two turning points. The first turning point, at the age of 19, while I was in college, there was this talk that was being arranged, Bhagavad Gita talk by Swami Parthasarathi. I was studying in Bangalore. It was outskirts of Bangalore, and we didn't have money at that time to go to the city. And friends were all in the city, so they were saying, "Hey, come man, why don't we go enjoy, go watch movie, go to Brigade Road, go roam around." Okay, fine. But how to go? We didn't have money. There is a bus going to this Swami Parthasarathhi's lecture. So we'll get into the bus, silently get into the bus. When the bus stops, we will run away. We will not go into the lecture, but we will go run away. 19-year-old, right? So I went to that lecture, and the principal is standing there outside. Said, "Fellows, I know you're trying to escape from here. First go. This lecture has been specifically arranged for you guys. Go there." Got in and you know sat in the lecture. I said, "What is this? Why I am coming to this lecture? Just we're being pushed here." He sat in there. So the students asked, "Sir, why are we all afraid about the exams? When the exam comes, there's a lot of fear. Why is it?" Swami Parsar, the great teacher on Bhagavad Gita, he said, "The problem is you guys are focusing on the outcome. You are not focusing on what you have to do." The moment he said that, it was as though I had been searching for this for a long time. I could not I could not get that out of my mind for a few days. He said, "Attachment causes misery. You buy a Mercedes Benz and come home. If it falls in a big ditch, you will immediately get very upset and you will get so worried. But if the same car is your office car, you wouldn't be bothered much." He said, "You're trying to possess some things, but those things are possessing you." The moment he said these things, I could not get it off my mind. Next weekend, I was at Ramakrishna Mutt. I started searching very deeply. And that's when I realized that there is some continuity happening. There is some continuity happening. And I started going into this very deeply. So that was one turning point. The second turning point happened. And I'm going to connect all this to finding purpose. The second turning point happened when I came back from America. I had finished my 18 years career. I did all that. Parallelly, my search is going on. My spiritual journey is going on behind the scenes. I'm meeting gurus, learning from gurus, doing yoga. All the spiritual practices are going in the background. But at the same time, my corporate life is continuing. And after this happened in the US, where I lost my H1 visa and came back, that is when I met I would say, my mind guru. I would call him the mind guru, because when I met him, I started understanding my own mind very powerfully, very powerfully. And that is when I started discovering my purpose. So what are the things that he said? What is something that he said which was so powerful that I started understanding my own mind as a system. I'm going to today I'm going to give that to you so that you can also experience. Okay? So let me do one simple exercise. Let me do one simple exercise. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Based on, if you close your eyes, just close your eyes for a minute and ask yourself, based on how honest you have been to yourself, if you were to give yourself a score between 0 to 100, if you were to give yourself a score between 0 to 100, how much score you deserve on how honest you have been to yourself? Please type the score in the chat box. You can type your score in the chat box. Could be anything, 30, 40, 50, out of 100, out of 100. So Vibha, 9 means 90, you're saying. 90, okay, 80%, okay, 78. Sangeeta ji is so accurate. Jagdeep, Jagdeep ji is 79. Kavita ji 50, 80. Good, well done. Who gave the score? We only gave the score, right? Who received the score? We only received the score. So are there two people inside us? This is the question my mind guru asked me. Are there two people inside us? Are we a split personality? How can there be two? How can there be a score where one is receiving the score, it is less than 100. One who is giving the score is 100. Please, this is very important for you to find your purpose. This is so important. That's why I'm doing this exercise. One has received the score 30, 40, 50, 60, 80. This morning, I did the same exercise in this, multi-thousand crore company. There were 35 salespeople sitting, and one person said, "Sir, 100, my score." I said, 100 means zero. It cannot be 100. There is something inside you which is less than 100. There is something within you which is 100. Now, let me explain this, and this will slowly take you to your purpose, finding your purpose. We have been programmed from childhood in many different ways. In many different ways. So many programs. You're good, you're useless, you're this, you're that, you have to be like this, you have to sit like this, you have to stand like this, you have to behave like this. The programs have gone. There are millions and millions of programs that have gone. All these programs have programmed our mind. Like how Dr. Ivan Pavlov said, he did an experiment with the dog, and he says the dog became conditioned, programmed. Like that, we have become programmed to behave. And most of our responses are like automatic. They are not even, we are not even thinking about them. We just automatically reacting to them. Something happens in traffic, we are reacting. This is part of the mind which is being programmed. And this is always less than 100. And this is where we keep telling lies about ourselves, about who we are. And this is the part of us which is not authentic. It is always in doubt. It is always in fear. It's always in worry. Who am I? What am I here to do? What is my purpose? We are not clear. What is the direction? Where is my life going? All this confusion is there. There is another part within you, another part. I don't know to give names because these are all labels. There is another part which is 100%. You cannot change it. It's like factory settings. It's already there. It's 100%. That 100% only, with that 100% reference only, you got the mark as 60, 40, 80. So you can call it consciousness, you can call it Atma, you can call it, you can give it any name you want. But that's the original, 100%. You can say we are a bug and Bhagwan. So it's all there. Inside is there. 100% is there. Now, what we call as guilt, say that, okay, you shout at somebody, you feel guilty. Why? Because anger is coming from that part within you which has been programmed, whereas your original part is love only. This original part cannot change. You can only feel guilty. You're feeling guilty so that there is a course correction happening. No, don't behave like this. Be in a loving manner. Okay? Now, let me come to purpose. We have been programmed to focus on survival. I have to do this job. I have to do this work. Otherwise, my family will not get money. I am under pressure. I have to do this. This is where most of us spend our lives because we are caught up in the survival drama. Everyone around is caught up in the survival drama. Everyone. I land in the airport. For getting a cab, there is so much of a fight. Survival drama. Traffic, survival drama. In an office, there's so much politics. Survival drama. Everyone's protecting their turf. Everyone wants to be right. Put the blame on somebody else. Survival drama. Everything is happening in the conditioning, in the mind, where the conditioning is there. But here there is a very powerful 100%, which is perfect. In all ways, there is a perfection inside you. Purpose is also hidden here. It's not here, it's here. So now, how do you find this? How do you get here? The simple solution is being honest with ourselves. Being honest with ourselves. While working, while we are caught up in the survival drama, it might have been difficult for us to be honest with ourselves. But now that we have time to reflect, now we can be 100% honest with ourselves. And when we are that, suddenly the purpose starts coming out. Suddenly the purpose starts coming out. So when I was discussing this with my mind guru, one thing became very evident. As teenagers, when we came out of college, we started looking at what other friends are doing and what they are having. Oh, they're having the bike. Oh, they are having this money. So let me start focusing on what they are having. I want to also have what they have, what they are having. So if they are having that, they are having the bike, they are having the money, they are having the whatever uh, things they're having, what are they doing? Oh, they are working in a software job. Oh, they are working in this kind of a job. Oh, they are working in a government job. They're working in this job. So let me also go to a job. So the having has put pressure on the doing, and the doing has put pressure on becoming. So we became people who we are not naturally born to be. but we became conditioned to become. Because you mute, you mute me. Yeah. So we became conditioned to become like another person because we started focusing on what we can have and what we can do. But when we look at nature, when we look at a coconut tree, for example, yeah, it is as if their ikigai has got buried. When we look at nature, a coconut tree bears coconuts. It needs air, water, sunshine. It is provided in abundance. Everything is in nature seems to be in place except the human being who is out of place. Always there is some suffering, some where there in the mind there is a lacuna. But you look at again in human beings, you look at people who are in alignment internally, they seem to be doing what comes very naturally to them, and money, recognition, everything else is a byproduct and it is coming. So they are being who they are, very authentic, very honest about this is who they are, and they are doing what they love doing, they're passionate about doing, they want to give something to the world, they want to express something to the world. Everything else becomes a byproduct. They are in the natural flow. That means that is their purpose. To quote the Gita, where Arjuna says, I don't want to fight. I want to I want to go away because am unable to fight. And what does Lord says? Arjuna, this is your swabhava, your nature, your very nature is you're a Kshatriya, you have to fight. That's why your duty is there. You cannot run away. If you run away in some other way, again this fight will happen. That is your swabhava. You have to fight. You cannot escape this. And from that swabhava, your swadharma will come. So you cannot escape it. Now, so you're naturally born to do something. You have a natural inclination towards something. You have a natural, you're naturally drawn towards something. You have a natural skill and talent. When survival pressure is catching you, when survival pressure, the pressure of conditioning is catching, it's like your uniqueness is buried inside. It's struggling. It cannot unfold itself. It's not able to unfold. But the moment you become honest with yourself, this conditioning's power starts weakening. And there is that 100% which starts waking up. It starts waking up. So, so the important question here is what is something which you feel you're naturally good at? What do you enjoy doing? What what will you do if there is no concern about time and money? What will you do when there is no worry about what other people will say? Please type in the chat box. What is something which you are so um, happy about giving to the world, expressing to the world in service of others without any expectation? What could that be? Please type in the chat box. Or if you want to unmute and speak, please speak about it. Training youngsters. Very nice. Coaching people on financial well-being. Fantastic. To work with my NGO. Awesome. Repeat, the question is, what do you enjoy so much giving to the world? What do you love so much that you would do without any expectation? That you would do when time and money won't be a challenge at all anymore, question at all anymore.
Mm.
You would
Yeah,
enjoy doing
working.
it.
Okay.
Work for mental health for youth. Very nice. Very nice. So the more honest you are with yourself, what is your swabhava? What is your nature? You're naturally good at something. And that thing which you're naturally good at, look at how you can serve those who are in pain, who are in trouble, who are in challenge, who need this service. And that is your purpose. Now, when you are in survival mode, when you are in a survival mode, this does not open up simply because there you are unable to become completely honest with yourself. You focus on survival issues. And the employer will say, no, you have to do like this only. The employer will say, no, 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 this only has to be done. The manager or the boss will be there and the person will say this. Many entrepreneurs took the plunge into entrepreneurship because they became honest with themselves, saying that, look, this is what I want to give to the world. I want to serve people around me. They are in pain. And they created products. They created services. Right? So impart the power of sound judgment in campus hires. Fantastic. Right to inspire, to entertain. Awesome. Please do it. Whatever you feel good about. See, where is that feeling good coming from? It's coming from the 100%. It's coming from there. It's very authentic, right? It's coming from there. So you can give it. And another thing is, don't worry about the details. The intention is important. The willingness to start expressing something which you really love, something that you're passionate about, that is important. The question has come, every field or place in NGO we have to adjust for survival. Yes, survival drama will be there. Survival drama will continue to be there. Cannot escape. Financially, if you are independent, you can escape the survival drama. Or if you are saying that, look, my finances have been taken care in such a way that I have reduced my needs so much, then also you can escape the survival drama. Or you put it in an order in such a way that you have so much time given for the survival, and the rest of the time you dedicate for something that you're passionate about, something that you want to give to the world, something which is of your purpose. And that is a better way. So for survival, there is some time. Like take me for example, I go on trainings, I go on corporate trainings, that's my survival. And I have to do that for my survival. That is done. And the rest of the time I'm doing what I'm passionate about, empowering people, helping them understand their own mind as a system, help them come out of certain emotional challenges. Yeah. So this is important. And any questions as of now? Any questions? I'll pause right now. I'll take a couple of questions and then we will come to a final. Any questions, please put it in the chat box or unmute and speak.
Excuse me, sir, can I say something?
Yes, please, please. Go ahead.
So I have a different opinion about regarding what you said about survival. Even when we are surviving during our years of service to a company, to an organization, even during that period, there are people who have also contributed, to society. So
No, no,
we
no.
cannot say that just because we are surviving, we are in the survival mode, we don't contribute.
No, no, no,
We
no.
can't say
That
that.
is not my. My apologies again if that came across as a meaning. My deep apologies. That was not the intention. What I said was, when you are in survival mode, unfolding your, it's like your purpose. Now the whole today's discussion is about your purpose, like finding purpose, finding meaning after retirement. That is one of the key topics of discussion today. When you are working for others, there is a restriction for your expression. See, you can't express yourself more. Maybe see, definitely company is contributing to society, otherwise company will not exist. So you're working for the organization, definitely contribution is going for society. But then are you able to fully express yourself? Are you able to find your purpose at that time?
Beyond your area of work, you
Correct.
can find your purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you are specifically talking about retirement, then there is no point in survival because we have already finished that part, that phase of our life. We are in retirement now. So
Correct.
survival doesn't come into existence right now. But when we are in survival mode, we are at work, we are working. But
Correct.
within that sphere, there have been people, I know there have been people who have passionately followed their heart and done other things which is required by society. I know a lot of people who have done that within the sphere of working. Beyond the work, they have done all that. Yes, there are a lot of people who have done that. Not after retirement, no.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So that's a good viewpoint. Absolutely. Anyone else? Anyone else has any question?
So when do we achieve the 100%?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we are all in a stage where we keep progressing towards that 100% within us. Perfection is within. We don't have to look for perfection outside. We make a mistake by looking for perfection outside, and perfection can never come outside. Perfection can never come in the body. Perfection can never come in the mind because it is always changing. It is always changing. The challenge is something within us believes that we can be perfect outside. Oh, this can be my life. Why my life is not perfect outside? Why it's not perfect outside? This is just a belief. It's coming from our own identity, right? But perfection cannot come. We can only keep striving towards perfection. The more, the more we start becoming honest with ourselves, the more we start going towards that 100% in every area, whether it is relationship, whether it is our any other area you talk about. The more we become honest with ourselves, the more we are moving towards that 100%. If we ask ourselves a question that you know so if we ask ourselves a question, right? Why was the score less? Why was it only 30%, 50%? Why was it only 70%? What is the balance 30% where I'm not honest with myself? If we ask ourselves, answers will start coming from inside. Answers will start coming from inside, right? When I was on that flight from America, when my visa was put into lottery system for no cause from my end, I asked myself, how can I be more expressive? How can I live my purpose? What can I do to be more to unravel my purpose to the world, unfold my purpose to the world? And that is when answers started coming. Yes. Start giving, start training, start empowering people, start teaching. Same way, you can also start questioning deeply, okay, in which areas that I've been dishonest with myself, right? And then purpose starts unfolding, it starts coming very clearly. So one of the exercises you can do is visualizing yourself in the area where, see, many of you contributed in your chat, in the chat you said many of you spoke about areas where you know you want to express yourself, like educating kids, running an NGO, and so many other things. Just, I want to do a simple exercise where I help you visualize you living your life in that purpose area, living your life in that area where you feel very happy about, positive about. Okay, let's do that exercise, shall we? Okay, this is, we use neuro linguistic programming technique, which is a very powerful technique which will help you imagine this thing. Okay, close your eyes and relax. Take a few deep breaths. Take a few deep breaths. Relax, close your eyes. I will keep counting downward. As I keep counting downward, you will go deeper and deeper and deeper. 5, relax, breathe deeply. 4, relax, breathe deeply. 3, relax, two, 1, relax. Imagine you're walking in a beautiful garden. It's a beautiful day. It is drizzling. You can smell the beautiful flowers in the garden. You feel happy. Now imagine you're working in the area where you feel good. You're feeling energetic. You're enjoying the work you do. You feel so happy. You're able to express yourself fully. You feel so good within. Relax. You feel confident about yourself. There are people recognizing you for your work. There are people paying you for your work. You feel confident. You feel happy. You feel motivated and energetic. Slowly come back. I will be counting till 5, and then you can open your eyes. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back. Please open your eyes. Open your eyes. Very good. Thank you for participating in this visualization exercise. Please do put your experience in the chat box. How did you feel? You felt good, you felt relaxed, you felt you were able to visualize yourself. Please do put it in the chat box, or you can unmute and say as well. Relaxed, good. Missed those days. Yeah, very good. Very good. There was a pharmacist by name Emil Coe. He did a very interesting experiment. He met a lot of people who came to his pharmacy to take medicines. As they took medicines, he gave a suggestion. He said, why don't you, as you go to sleep in the night and have your medicines, in your mind, just keep repeating that I'm becoming fine, I'm healthy, I'm getting all right. And he started seeing a lot of people experience health benefits. And that is how affirmations came into place. Affirmations. Affirmations are powerful statements which we can say, especially in the night before we go to bed, because that is when the subconscious becomes very active. And they act, literally, they act like a pill. So, I am healthy, I'm feeling relaxed, I'm feeling energetic, I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling valuable. So many affirmations you can say. For whatever area pain you have, you can say these affirmations. Right? I'm finding my purpose. I'm living a life which is, I feel that I'm expressing my purpose. I'm expressing myself totally. So these are some of the tools that we can use to find our purpose. And express our purpose as well. Now, each one has a certain background, each one has a certain skill or talent. When we were working for companies, when we were active in different areas of life, certain aspects of those skills and talents could have come out. But now that you have time, it is a good opportunity for you to explore the deeper meanings of life, deeper purposes. It could be something very different. It could be a very deep spiritual purpose. It could be a very deep service purpose. It could be a purpose of maybe related to relationships. So that is really up to you to discover that purpose. In today's session, I only gave some tools. I only gave you some directions, right? Please feel free to ask me any questions, and then we can do some final thoughts and wrap up the session. Yeah. Any questions?
Govind, I have a question.
Yes, please.
You have done these purpose-driven sessions for people across age groups. Is there any age for somebody to discover their true purpose?
See, age is not a barrier. Good question, Vibha. Age is
Just a number.
not a barrier at all.
Yeah, it's just a number.
Number. And see, many of us think that purpose means it has to be related to, especially when we are younger, we think that purpose is, there has to be some specific uh, uh, you know a specific number attached, like it could be like, oh, I need to earn this, or I need to do this, something specific like that. The purpose could be very different. Purpose could be very different. And there are deep spiritual purposes which we start unraveling, right? In the Gita, there's a beautiful shloka on Tatratam Buddhi Sehiyotam Labate Paurva Dehikam, where he says, where you left, you may forget everything of what you have done in previous lifetimes, but where you left exactly in your spiritual journey, and that is where you will pick up and understand your purpose as a spiritual being. So we give a lot of meaning to what is going on in our minds, and that is again from a lot of programming, a lot of conditioning, the way we have walked our lives. But the purpose and meaning in the background could be very different. Could be very different. So it is not age, but it is the timing when you are ready. As they say, when they say that when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. It has to be stressed only when the student is ready, teacher will appear. So teacher is always there. World is a teacher. There's so many teachers around. But the question is whether we are ready. So when that thirst is there, when the hunger is there, yes, I need to really find out why I'm here. What is this deeper meaning, or what I'm here to give, or what I'm here to contribute. Definitely, I think things start changing. And age is not a barrier. Like Colonel Sanders, they say that he started KFC at what age was that? Six, fifth, sorry?
It was above the
He
age
was
of
65.
Yeah, 65, I heard.
Sometimes it so happens, like, uh, when there are like a lot of questions, you approach a guru or somebody in a position of, who gives knowledge. But there are few things when this becomes like more of their personal marketing. मैंने जो कहा वो करो तभी तुम्हारा ये होता. Then uh, the the yearning for learning, it becomes vacuum, because the yearning remains and learning doesn't happen. And again, the search starts, like whom to ask, whom to see, where to seek knowledge, or where to, you know. So uh, this is something like I've experienced. So
Yeah. See, quickly let me answer Lucy's question. The ancient teachers say that you really don't have to go looking for a guru. You only have to focus on that hunger, focus on that yearning, that I'm really thirsty for hunger. I'm really thirsty. Nature, divine, the name you may give any name, but ultimately this is how things work, that gurus come in front of you. The person whom you are searching automatically comes in whichever form, but you have to keep searching. We must not give up our search, because the difference between a teacher and a guru is, or a teacher or a mentor, there's so many words people use today, coach and mentor and advisor and this and that. But the fundamental difference is somebody who gives you knowledge, versus removes ignorance or darkness. There's a difference. Knowledge can come from, you may say that, okay, I read a book can be you can say, oh, book is a good teacher, I've learned something from this book. Yes. I've learned something from this movie, I've learned some. But removing ignorance, removing darkness, and showing you the real purpose of who you are, your spiritual purpose, that guru does. There's a difference. So that distinction is very important. So I think
where
as
to
long
find
as you
them.
are, as long as you're ready, your student is ready, teacher appears. See, Krishna and Arjuna were friends most of their life, but only in the battlefield, the student became ready. See, that's the beauty. Entire life he was there, but he was not ready. He was ready only in the battlefield. Sometimes when we are emotionally pushed so much, that is when the student in us starts waking up. Now I'm ready to learn. Now teach me, because I've been hurt so much. Yeah, thank you. Good question. Yeah, Mr. Bhayana.
Yes, sir.
Bhayana, sir.
As you said, finding purpose, fine. One of the purpose is identified, and execution is a challenge.
True.
Like I said, I would like to, mentor uh, younger generation, but getting engaged with them, attempted, got attached to an NGO, very happy to go there, which utilizes only 2 days in a month.
Mhm.
What to do? Balance 28 days.
That's true.
Right. Interesting. I think we have to take definitely this question offline and see what we can also do. I'll also discuss with Vibha. I think Vibha, another platform is connecting seniors to the youth.
It's
This is
on the
very
way.
important.
We are going to very soon do it. It's on the way.
Youth need seniors, and seniors need youth. And I think uh, in the country itself, this is a major issue, probably all over the world, because youth seem to be too attached to gadgets, and seniors have a lot of time they can give to the youth, which is where now, how do we bridge the gap? How do we how do we bring them together, and how do we help them communicate with each other, so that there's so much. See, in our generation, our grandparents, I remember, I was brought up by my grandfather and spending so much time. When I look back at my life, I value that so much now, so much. If I had missed that, I don't know, in my life, so much of direction, so much of love, attention, and care, and that was there, which the youngsters are missing today. They're definitely missing, and that is again, that could be a huge purpose.
But
Or
today, elders in the house also feel lonely
yeah,
because these youngsters are so keyed on either to the media, TV, or to the phones. And you take it away from them, they get annoyed.
absolutely,
So there is no connection at all. So,
absolutely,
and the youngsters do not know where to reach when they are in anxiety. And that's
exactly.
where I have heard a lot of cases where children do not know, especially during the examination results coming or examination time, they take different actions, which is not good. At least if they talk. So I feel because we have a university, and here we see that a lot of children reach out to counselors, and there is shortage of counselors now. So I think the elderly people can get into counseling somewhere. Anonymous calls can be. I think Sukoon can help in that. We can create some, a calling booth where youngsters can call and take advices from the experienced people like us. Yeah.
Correct, correct. Very true.
Yeah, I
Very
have
good.
a question, sir.
Yes, yes, please.
Sir, from years together, there is a notion that when a person is senior citizen or retires, he should go to a NGO, he should go to temple, he should move towards spirituality. तो क्या ये नोशन बदल रहा है या अभी भी वही है?
I think it's individual choice. That nobody is forcing anybody for these things.
नहीं, I'm not questioning about, it is not about forcing. I have a
हाँ,
question कि नोशन ये बदल रहा है कि अब जो रिटायर हुआ है वो भी घूम सकता है, बाहर जा सकता है, कि उसको
नहीं,
सिर्फ
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
स्पिरिचुअलिटी
there
और
is a
एनजीओ में ही
change in
जाना?
there is a change in the society, huge change.
Can I come in?
Yes,
नहीं,
please.
it's not my, it is only a question.
No, I
It's not
understand. I
about me.
understand. I understand. And since I am getting there into retirement, I'm doing a little research. So, what I'm seeing in the current scenarios, there's a course that's there. If we have been individuals who have been working somewhere and have certain skills and qualifications, then we can do a course of the board directors. Okay. And then you can be on board of certain organizations. So once you get the certificate, you can become a member of board. So it's not that only NGOs you do. Okay. It's like your skills and potential and your leadership can also be tapped in by these board of directors, and especially for women, women leaders. So they are looking at someone like that. So time is changing. It's not only that, okay. And then there's something else where they hire retired people to work.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. So there are some organizations who hire retired people
Yes.
because their knowledge
Mm.
and
Mm.
wisdom is very important. Yeah.
That is skill
Can I add something to that? What?
based.
Yes.
No, I was saying that yes, wisdom is required
Yes.
because that is where you blend a high degree of maturity with facts, whether ancient or modern. But I think what the seniors of today, and it applies to me as well, we will have to factor in this a new partner, which is AI, because AI is also spinning the way the organizations will be constructed. So the lower level positions might be taken up by, say, bots or, say, AI agents as the narrative is going up. But what we as senior citizens will have to factor in is this new young partner at work, which is AI. Because if you are able to blend that with your wisdom, then you're
Yeah. And Have we lost him? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
No, no, you are audible.
No.
Yeah. So also AI
Audible?
is
You are
there.
audible, but
Okay, AI is
but
there. That is true. But can AI give sympathy, empathy to the being? I doubt. So there, that is where human will come into action.
which is coming from our spiritual nature, from our original nature. That is the real purpose. Now, we have to start moving towards that and start expressing that is what is very important. So, the doorway for that is being completely self honest, being completely authentic with ourselves, completely true to ourselves. The more we ask questions like, what do I really feel good about giving? What do I want to give in service of others? What are my real, what gives me happiness when I express myself? So these kind of questions are actually about self honesty and taking you back to your that 100% from
Right.
where the larger purpose emerges. See, material, we are splitting things as material and spiritual. Really, one only is there. But because of our beliefs, because of our conditioning, we think we are the other. But we are actually that 100% only. We are that 100%. That only is Atma, soul, consciousness. Only one is there. And the divine is there. There is no difference. The difference is coming because of the individuality. We've taken on this body and we think, oh, I am this body. Where were we? Where was this individuality, 60, 70, 80 years back? Where will it be 60, 70 years later? It is temporary. It just appears and disappears in our own mind. That's all. But that 100% is always there, unchanging, unmoving, eternal. That is the real, uh, that understanding that is the real spirituality. You say that's one
so that
only.
is, at the end of the day, it is self-determination and self-consciousness.
Absolutely, absolutely. Awareness of that one. So the
Yeah.
more closer you move towards that one, the more your purpose starts getting unfolded.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We really enjoyed the session.
Grace of gurus, the grace of my gurus. Thank you very much for Sukoon team